Hey guys, it's Emma here, and I have my recent favourite read recommendation for September. I always forget what month it is as soon as I turn the camera on for September. So yeah, I read quite a few things this month, so let's just get into it. I've got my Goodreads app here. So the first thing I read in September was one of my books from my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I'm always trying to get the monies out of that every month. So the first one was Cleopatra's Dagger. And then I read another one from Kindle Unlimited, and that was called Father of Lies. Now I'm still trying to work through my major backlog with my Abominable Book Club subscription packages. So one of the extra books from one of those boxes was Hexperiments, which is like an anthology book. And then I read one of my partner's books. He's bought the whole set of the Fables hardcovers. It's kind of like fairy tales, and they all like live together. So I read book one of that. Then I read one of the secondhand books that's come in my Abominable Book Club packages. I don't normally read the secondhand ones, I just leave them to the side and read the main books. But I've been wanting to read this one ever since I first saw it, and I just happened to get it as my secondhand book. So it's called This Book is Full of Spiders. Seriously, dude, don't touch it. So I give that a read. Then one of the comics I bought the other month, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Willow. Then Fables Book 2, so another one that my partner had bought. Another one that I had bought, Insects Volume 1. That was one of the comics I bought the other month. Then I read, I think this was from the April Abominable Book Club package, Sundial. And another one of my comics that I bought recently, Animosity Volume 1, The Wake. Then one of my partner's big hardcover books, Nocturnals Omnibus Volume 1. And the last thing I read was one of the Game of Thrones books. So it was A Dance with Dragons 1, Dreams and Dust. So I just got one to read, I think, and then I maybe caught up. I was off that week, so I was like, I will just get through this, because they're agreed like 500, 600 pages each book. So I whizzed through that when I was off. So that is everything that I read in the month of September. Before I tell you my absolute favourite thing, I will give an honourable mention to Animosity Volume 1, The Wake by Marguerite Bennett. I just thought that was great, and I loved the art. It's basically about animals becoming sentient, like all over the world, and they can speak, and they can tell you to like piss off with things. Your dog might attack you if it hates you putting like stupid clothes on it all the time and things like that. And it's just about this one girl and her dog trying to kind of like survive in this world. Because the dog is loyal and does love her, so even when it becomes sentient, it wants to like protect her, whereas a lot of the other animals do not want to protect any humans, and they want to kill them all. So that is definitely an honourable mention. I love that. I'm going to definitely read more, whether it's another volume or wait until it's like in a hardback with more volumes together. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to read more of that. But my absolute favourite thing I read this month was This Book is Full of Spiders. Seriously, dude, don't touch it, by David Wong. So what I'll do is I will just read the description. I don't normally do this, but I remember reading the description the first time myself when I saw it in like a Waterstones or something, and I was like, oh, this looks awesome, and I just never got into buying it, so I was so glad I got it as a secondhand book. So it says, warning, you may have a huge invisible spider living in your skull. This is not a metaphor. You will dismiss this as ridiculous fear-mongering. Dismissing things as ridiculous fear-mongering is, in fact, the first symptom of parasitic spider infection. The creature secretes a chemical into the brain to stimulate skepticism in order to prevent you from seeking a cure. That's just as well, since the cure involves learning what a chainsaw tastes like. You can't feel the spider because it controls your nerve endings. You can't see it because it decides what you see. You won't even feel it when it breeds. And it will breed. So what happens when your family, friends, and neighbours get mind-controlling skull spiders? We're all about to find out. Just stay calm and remember that telling you about the spider situation is not the same as having caused it. I'm just the messenger, even if I did sort of cause it. Either way, I won't hold it against you if you're upset. I know that's just the spider talking. So, see, it sounds awesome just reading the blurb. But yeah, this is, I think, with characters from a previous book called John Dies at the End, which I also want to read at some point, but I haven't yet. But as I haven't read it, I think the characters from that are in this, but you don't need to have read that. I just picked it up completely blind. I could understand what was going on. But basically, it's these two guy friends that end up like in the centre of this spider like spider brain apocalypse or whatever you want to say, there's always weird stuff happening to them apparently. And the main guy, he's the only one that can see the spiders. To everyone else they're invisible, so they don't know, they can't like protect themselves from them because they can't see them. But he can, and that obviously comes up later, because he's the only one that can tell who is infected and who isn't. But his girlfriend is out of town. She's like away at college or something, so she's trying to come home because she doesn't know what's going on yet. She just knows something's happening, like the news is starting to say stuff. So she's trying to come home to make sure her partner's alright. He's trying to get out to make sure she doesn't come in so that she's safe. And then the friend guy, who's not an idiot, but like, yeah, they get themselves into some stupid situations. He's kind of like running around as well with one or the other of them, trying to help the situation, potentially making it worse. But the whole town basically, like, you know, is quarantined, and there's just loads of stuff that happens. There's multiple times in this book I was laughing or saying like, oh no, don't do that, because like we know what she's doing and we know what he's doing, but they don't know what each other is doing. So it's very like stressful and frustrating. You're like, don't go to that place, go to there or whatever. So yeah, it's great. I would recommend everyone read this. I freaking loved this book, and it's one I'm going to keep. I don't think I have it just now because I lent it to my mum, so hopefully she likes it as much as I did. But yeah, that is my favourite read for September. I definitely recommend it if you haven't read it yet. But that is it for this one, guys. Any comments, leave them down below. Did you read any of these books? What did you think of them? Let me know down below. Share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!